When talking to someone, you make eye contact and suddenly become aware that they are looking directly into you. You wonder how long to maintain this gaze and where you should look. You have experienced this countless times, yet you never had a word for it. This is opia, the intense discomfort of sustained eye contact. During this, your amygdala activates and your pupils expand. Looking someone in the eye stimulates the same neural pathways as physical contact. This is why it feels invasive, because to your brain, it is. Think about Sonder while you are waiting in traffic next to another vehicle containing a driver. To you, this individual is merely background scenery in your personal narrative. However, your mind suddenly arrives at a realization. This stranger possesses a life that is just as intricate and detailed as your own. They have their own family, private secrets, regrets, and dreams they have never shared. At this moment, they are contemplating things you will never know. They are experiencing a whole lifetime of which you will never see even 1%. This sudden, powerful awareness that every stranger is the main character in their own story is Sonder. After you learn this term, you cannot stop noticing it. Next is chrysalism, which occurs when you are indoors during a storm, with rain beating against the windows and thunder echoing in the distance. You remain warm and secure inside, observing the outdoor turbulence from behind the window glass. A highly specific sense of peace arises from being sheltered while the external environment is in chaos. This state of chrysalism represents the womb-like calm of staying inside during a storm. Researchers believe this reaction is an evolutionary adaptation. Throughout history, securing shelter during bad weather was essential for survival. Your brain rewards you with tranquility because you took the action that kept your ancestors alive. Even though you are not depressed or suicidal and are completely safe, your mind suddenly presents a strange thought. It suggests the idea of leaping off the edge. This thought appears not because you actually want to fall, but simply because you possess the physical capability to do it. The sudden idea frightens you, causing you to step back with a racing heart. A 2012 study from Florida State University revealed that these intrusive thoughts are a misfire of your brain's hyperactive safety system. When you are close to a hazard, your brain urgently warns you not to jump. However, the process of imagining the danger to prevent it generates the thought itself. Therefore, the call of the void is not a hidden urge to jump, but your brain's method of ensuring you stay safe. The term jouska describes when you are awake at 2 in the morning, lying in bed, and mentally arguing with an absent person, such as your boss, your ex, or a driver from weeks ago. You construct their statements and your own perfect replies, winning the debate by dismantling their points with logic. The issue is that this dialogue will never take place, meaning you are practicing for no reason. This is the essence of jouska, an imaginary conversation that you compulsively play out in your mind. Mental health professionals suggest this is your brain's attempt to prepare for social conflict. However, when you do this in the middle of the night regarding an event from 5 years ago, it loses all utility. Instead, your mind is simply spinning in circles, practicing a conflict that has already ended or will never begin. Another phenomenon is semantic satiation, which you can experience by repeating a word like bowl over and over again. After about 30 seconds, the connection breaks, and the term ceases to be a word, turning into meaningless noise. Although your mouth continues to form the shape, your brain has disconnected it from the object. This is semantic satiation, defined as the temporary loss of meaning due to rapid repetition. Researchers believe this occurs because the neurons responsible for word recognition become fatigued from repeated firing and stop responding. The term begins to sound foreign, and for a brief period, you forget what a bowl even is. Consider canopsia, which you might feel when walking through a deserted, silent shopping center at midnight, or an empty school corridor in the summer. These spaces were built for crowds, noise, and movement, but they are now hollow. A profound sense of unease arises when you occupy environments that are normally bustling but are empty. This is canopsia, the strange atmosphere of locations that are typically crowded but have become deserted. Because your mind relies on patterns, a violation of these expectations in a familiar setting triggers low-level threat detection. You sense that something is wrong, because even though the physical layout is unchanged, the lack of people makes it feel haunted. The term anekdosh applies when you are dining with friends and someone is sharing a story. You nod and smile, but you are not actually listening. Instead, you are merely waiting for them to finish so you can share your own story. When you look at the others, you can tell they are doing the exact same thing. In reality, nobody is listening, as everyone is simply waiting for their turn to talk. This dynamic is anecdoche, describing a conversation where nobody is listening. Sociologist Charles Derber has labeled this behavior as conversational narcissism. In contemporary interactions, people often do not share ideas, but instead compete for attention. Rather than engaging in a dialogue, you take turns performing monologues. As a result, everyone leaves feeling completely unheard. Next is monocopsis, which you might experience at a party where everyone is laughing and you are participating, yet you feel as if you are watching from outside your body. You feel like an alien pretending to be human, convinced that you do not belong in this group or anywhere. This state of monocopsis is a subtle but persistent feeling of being out of place. Psychologists associate this with depersonalization and chronic social disconnection. This represents a widespread issue that is rarely discussed, where you can be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone. Over millions of years, humans survived because we could name threats like predators, fire, and cliffs. However, we never developed language for the spaces between our primary emotions. These include the sensation of eye contact, the awareness of other lives, and the safety of storms. Your brain has been experiencing these feelings throughout your entire life, but you simply never had words for them until now.